There you go. You see in this little black box down here what I'm currently pressing when I'm clicking something, for instance middle mouse button to drag the view, or when I combine stuff with my keyboard, like I press the left alt, and when I press the left alt and click the mouse button, then I can rotate my view, and when I press alt and control and the middle mouse button, I can zoom in and zoom out. So that's how you basically control this. The viewport has nothing to rotate around, so it takes a random spot, which can get messed up when you have large objects or something. Then your view is like this and you see nothing anymore, like I did right now. Then you can send the view again with this button. If I have nothing selected, it will center on world space 0 when I click this button. Pop, and you're back to normal. Okay. So now the most important part of Max is this one here. This is where all the magic happens. This sidebar, because it has all the functionality. See, a 3D program is very complex, so they have to cramp up every corner of the screen with functionality. So every rollout here is in-depth functionality. Even in this corner here, you can have influence over something. So in this part, you get to create stuff and modify stuff. So in the first rollout is the creation rollout. You can create a box, for instance. I pressed F3. You see this. I can switch from wireframe to shaded view by pressing F3, and I can blend in the wireframe over the shaded view by pressing F4. It's not visible right now, not very much, but you can see the red lines appearing. So you can actually see the wireframe while you are working on it. So I didn't select anything, so it takes a random spot to rotate. When I select something, it will rotate around the pivot point of that object. Or, yeah, the center point actually. It's not rotating around the pivot. Or is it? No. No. Okay. So you know how to set up units, so that's not of our concern. What we can now do with the same tab, basically, is we can select an object that we created with the Create tab. We can create a sphere, easy. You can delete it by selecting the object and pressing the delete button. Yeah, the second rollout is the modify rollout. And we created a box, so you can modify the box now with all its values. You can add some segments on all axes. Basic stuff. So if you're satisfied with that setup, say the box needs to be 30 centimeters long and 5 centimeters in diameter. So you have now exact values of how your object, the size of your object should be in real units, centimeters. So you can basically go from your reference, and you know this chair is I don't know 1.50 meters high. You can know about when you have the height of the object. You can, when you have a picture of the object, then rebuild the object in a real size. So, for instance, what we are gonna create now is a bullet. I do not know how high the bullet is, but I know its diameter. It's 7.62 millimeter bullet or cartridge with bullet. So we have the diameter of that object, and when we add the picture in the 3D space, we can then modify the picture that it fits the diameter, and then we have the length and we can rebuild the object. So this thing has a diameter of 7.62 millimeters. So this is in centimeters. So we have 0 centimeters and 762 millimeter, and that's that. This is the diameter. So this is the front. You can see this cube here because, oh, where am I? Oh, I rotated my view. Where am I? You can check where you are with this cube right here. You can see it says back, top, right, left, front, bottom. Yeah, the front, of course, should be the tip of the bullet. First of all, we will center everything, because we are now not on the 0 point anymore, but somewhere off. And oh, you cannot see my right-click menu. Sorry, I switched from my regular selecting mode, selecting shit, to the move mode. You can right-click and click on move, or you can just click here, select and move. That's the same function. It's basically quicker to do it with the right-click menu, which you cannot see. I don't know, not why. I select my object here, my little cube, and you see the coordinates down here, and they are off. They are somewhere in where we do not want them. We want to zero them out to get the object back on 0. So now we need the reference in here somewhere. So what we're gonna do is we will create again a plane this time, and we will hold shift while we do it, because we do not want a plane to look like that or to look like that. We need it to be square. So we hold down shift, control, and drag a bit till we are satisfied. And I'd say, oh, it's a big, it's a bigger picture. I'd say this should be good. So this plane doesn't need these segments. We can get rid of them. And now what we're gonna do is we will add a modifier to the plane, because right now when we will add a texture to it, it will apply the texture to the UV space of this object, and this will result in weird stuff. Let's do this actually. Let's get the picture in here. We want this picture in here. So what we're gonna do is we start up the material editor. This is up here. Right? The important stuff is for rendering, and material stuff is here. This is for basic control stuff, as is this, and yeah, this has something to do with linking objects, unimportant right now. Yeah, what we want to do is add a texture to this thing. So we go at the open the material editor. This brings up this window. This is the material editor, and we now can add a material. Let me choose a standard material, plop, material. So we have now a material. Now we want a diffuse color for it to see something, to get the picture in here. So we'll, how does this work actually? A standard bitmap, and then we can select it. That's nice. Where's this picture actually? It's on my desktop, guys. Oh boy, Don't look, don't look. It's called something something. AK. There it is. Okay, now we got the picture in here. And we can now basically add this to that. And we do this by having this selected and having this material selected, and then we click on apply material, assign material to selection, whatever this button does with the green box in it. Flip. And then we have the material on here. We cannot see shit because we have not enabled the shading yet, or what is it? We should be able, yeah, maybe it's because this thing has no UV coordinates. So that's what we add next. I think we're done here. We can close the editor because the material is applied. We just don't see it yet because we lack UV coordinates at all. There are none in the basic object. So what we're gonna do is select our plane object again and then go for in the modifier list. This is up here. We have a whole bunch of shit in here. Oh my god! But what's this? This is the magic of Max. Actually, you can stack modifiers on top of each other to achieve amazing things. What we're gonna do right now is yeah, make this a poly mesh. I would suggest you make everything you apply a texture to a poly mesh. It's just, you know, you don't have to do this in this case, but it's a habit. Bring up the right click menu, which you cannot see, and you have down on the bottom a rollout convert to, and we want to convert to an editable poly. You have editable mesh and editable poly and a bunch of other shit we do not need. Okay, so we go for the editable poly, and bop, that switches up this thing to an editable poly. And this is really cool because we have influence of everything in that mesh right now. That's really cool. We cannot edit anything anymore. If we say make the cube an editable poly, right now, remember, you can add segments and shit to the cube base shape, but you cannot edit, say, this corner. You cannot pull out this corner, or you cannot do anything with it. You can just add stuff or don't. What we're gonna do is we will do this again, right click, convert to editable poly, and then we get a bunch of stuff on the right side, because this is now a different kind of object and we can edit it. So let's say we can click on the vertex, and now we can edit the vertices like this. You can click on it and just pull this corner out and make funny stuff with it, which I don't right now because I like how it is right now. Yeah, this is the edit mode. When you click on these icons, you can edit this. If you want to leave the edit mode, just click the icon again, or again you can do this with the right click menu. There's now more stuff on the left side, and given you clicked on vertex, you can now click on top level, and then it's deselected and you can select other stuff. So you can enter these modes with the right click menu too. I'm now in the border mode, edge mode. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's leave that for later. We want to now make the texture visible here. So we go in the modifier list and scroll all the way down and add a UV map to it. I think UV map should do. UV map, planar, alright. Diggy diggy dee. It's tiny and doesn't show anything. Maybe it's because I'm not showing anything. Viewport. Where's that stuff? Where is that stuff? Oh, I made an error in the material editor. When you click on the material, you can show standard map in viewport. I forgot about that button. You need to click that button and then whoop, it will show up. Oh, I forgot about that one. Yep, that's on me. So we didn't see anything because there were no UV information, which we added. We didn't see anything because I was an idiot. But it would have looked like that, basically. A whole bunch of crap we do not need like this, because the texture will just repeat and repeat and repeat in a weird angle too. So we added the UV map, which is very tiny right now. You see this little orange box in there. This is the actual UV map. What we want to do is, where can I get this to? Normal align? No. Ah yeah, okay. And I fit it to the bitmap. Okay. And now I have to scale the gizmo without really scaling it. Am I on scale? No. Scale. What the shit? Scale? No? I can edit this, but I cannot scale it. I can rotate it, but I cannot scale it. What the shit? What is happening? There you go. Oh no, wait. There you go. So I want to fit the picture in the... Oh, actually I just need this bullet, right? So let's get rid of all the rest. Actually, that's way better idea. Let's just get the bullet. So that's what we need. The resolution is really crappy right now. Let me see. Configure viewports. Is this in here? This is not in here. Where was this? Isn't it in here? Never mind. This would take too long right now. So see that it depends where I click on the scaling. I do not want the resolution, no, the aspect ratio to differ. So I click on this and I do not click on this, because when I click just on the x-axis, then I will, distort the image, and that's not what I want. Control back. I want both, and the same goes for y. I want both of them affected at the same time, so I click in the middle here, and then I can, make it bigger and smaller. Same goes with the positioning. I don't want this to be affected, because this will be really bad. I just want this, and it's too big. It's too big already. Let's make it. Oh, that should do it. There you go. Okay. So we have that. Deselect. Oh. So this is our bullet. Now we want it to face in the right direction, because this is all messed up. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna rotate it, and because when you rotate it like that, just you pick an axis and just rotate, you see the amount of rotation on the top, and this is floating. So getting this to exactly 90 degrees is very difficult and a hassle. You would just settle for something like that, and that's not what we want at all. We reset it, Control Z, and what we can now do is up here, angle snap toggle. We want that to switch on, and then it will go in 5 degree steps, and now we can position it on exactly 90 degrees. That's what we want. And now it's facing upwards, which would be great, but we don't want to model like that. So we do the same on the other side. So let's see. Okay. So this is the diameter actually. So the picture should fit the cube now on the left viewport. You can click inside here, but you see this is not accurate. It depends on where the camera is. Let me make this obvious. If you try to do this in this viewport, you will have real issues, because it's a perspective view, right? It depends on the camera where you see the cube over the picture. So what we want to do is press L and get in the left view. So this is a planar view, basically a 2D view. So it doesn't depend anymore on the camera where you see the cube. So now we can get our picture over the cube and can basically orient it in an exact manner. Or this is not rocket science, but you know, you want to be accurate. Yeah, let's scale this whole thing. Why not? Should be smaller. Something like that. Let's see. Should be even. I mean, we could get away with it, but it's too big. It's too big. So that should do it. Yeah, that should do it. Okay. Right? It's a bit... the picture is so low res. Where is this? Where can I edit this? Backgrounds? No, I don't want to configure the background. Where is this? Active shade? No. It must be in here somewhere. Lighting and shadows, no. This is not it. Oh god, where's this shit? See, now I'm searching. Ah, well, we'll make do. I find this and I post this later. Not a regular use of this. Something like that. Okay, let's just go with it. And we should rotate it a bit. Oh! Okay. So we have now the diameter of that thing. Can I deselect you, please? Hello. Something is really weird right now. Oh, I pressed the space bar. I locked something. Yeah, that's. Don't press anything you're not sure. When you press the space bar, you lock your controls. You can control that object, but nothing else anymore. You cannot even deselect it. So when you press the space bar again, you are off this mode, and you can deselect it again. Oops, that's not what I wanted. L again, and brings you back to the left view. We want to go back to the perspective view, so we press P. Or what we also could do is go here and go to perspective. Or left view, or top view, bottom view, whatever. It's all there. Or you just press P. Because that's how we roll. So this is our diameter. And this is very far away. Okay, there you go. That's what we wanted. Or maybe even so. Okay. So this is our diameter. What we want to do now is create another object, and we want to go for a cylinder this time. And open a cylinder, just like that. So we don't need the height segments, we can get rid of them. And we want to zero it out, because we created it somewhere. So now we want to rotate it. So we go again for the snap and rotate it 90 degrees. Pop, like that. I'm switching rotation, move and scale all the time with the right click menu. Don't be confused. It's up here or on the right click menu, move, rotate, scale. That's how I switch it. I think you see some tiny boxes when I open the menu, and that's it. Yeah, something like that. Weird. Okay, the diameter was 7. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Hello, Mr. Calculator. We have 762 millimeters divided by 2, and we will just get this over. And this is our radius for the projectile. Boop. Okay, now we can play with the height. So let's get back on our left view in L, and we can see this here. And we want to start at the bottom. Something like that. And then get the height. The photograph is also not exactly from there's perspective on the photograph, so always have that in mind. And we all the way to the top. Okay, and this should be I don't know, 4.691 centimeter bullet. Is this a possibility? Should be. Okay, now we have that done. Basically, we can get rid of our placeholder here, because we have the main thing. Yeah, and it's accurate. So, is this any good? Let's press P, because as a high-res model, this is very... you can press G, by the way, to get rid of the grid. And you notice when you look at this curve, you see the effect, and we don't want that. We want it to be really high. Something like that. So you don't see the curve anymore. Alright, and what we're gonna do now is we bring up the menu again, which you cannot see, so I have to explain that shit again. Right click menu, and there is an option that says Object Properties. It's the something from above. Object properties. We click that. Brings up this one. I'm glad you can see that. Now we can edit the rendering control by clicking on by layer to switch it by object, and we edit the visibility to 0.4 and okay that, so we can see through it. Alright, and now again on the left view, boop, we will add some stuff to it. First of all, this is still a cylinder. When we go to the modify tab, you see this is still a cylinder. We don't want this to be a cylinder, so we right click again, convert to editable poly. So we want that, because right now we get a whole bunch of stuff on the left side here, and these are all tools that are meant for modeling basically. There are some basic stuff. You can basically achieve a lot of stuff by just using this tab, but this tab has some neat stuff that you can just modify your object with. For instance, you can just add a swift edge loop. When you click that, you get this little line on the object, and it will at this line create vertices around your model and basically add an edge loop. This is called an edge loop because all the edges loop around the object. And we want to have one here, here, and here. First of all, let's make it kind of even, like that. We want one here. I'm looking through the model on the photograph right now. And one here, and one here, and that should be it for the cartridge. And then this is where the bullet comes into play, and this is a whole different story. We will make the bullet maybe in a different way. All right. Okay, we can deselect it to get rid of the tool, and we can see now when we go back to P, the perspective view, that we added a bunch of loops to the model. And we did this on the places in the reference where the shape of the object changes, right? So we can now go ahead and select, where is it? The vertex edit mode, and just select one loop in vertices. Make sure, right now I made an error because I selected the loop I wanted, but also some stuff on the other side. So if I just scale this now, you see that some stuff that I do not want gets scaled with it. So always make sure that when you selected something, that you didn't select something else you didn't want. And I had here, so I line it up. This is somewhat weird. Let me. Okay, never mind. And now I can press left Alt and select, and basically deselect stuff. Oh, there's still one. All right. Oh, and there's still 1, 2. Okay. All right. And now I can scale on both axes, X and Z, and make this little nit here be a bit more. It's actually, how is it on the, yeah, it's actually skewed that way a bit. And that's too much. that. I'm looking at the shape here and here and here and here, that this matches up basically like in the photograph. And this one is rounded down a bit, but I keep that for now. I like it the way it is here. So now we select these and do the same here and try to match the shape. More. Okay, that should do. And what we're gonna do now is go to the polygon mode and select the right polygons and separate them. We can do this by detach them here, down here. Ooh, here, detach. And this will create another object with these. So it will detach these selected faces from the object, creating another one. So I'm right now in the edit view, but when I go right click top level, or I get all the way up here and deselect that, I'm now in the object mode again, and I can select objects like our background, and you see now these are two objects now. But we want to go back here, do we? Do we need this to be two separate objects actually? Yeah, let's keep it for now. But we could. I'm thinking about building a cartridge right now, like giving this whole shape a depth, so that you can basically fly with the camera in the cartridge. I would close this off here because that, yeah, and would do the rest with the texture work. But you could basically fly in the cartridge. This is some amount of detail we do absolutely not need. So basically we make one big object in the end, but the creation of the tip will be different than the one of the cartridge. So basically I'm fine with the cartridge right now. What we could do is take a look at the end. Do we remember how many segments were selected? I don't. All right. Yeah. Right now this is just one big thing, and this is bad because this will be computed when you export it, and we want every line in our model to be predefined because we do not like surprises, because these are bad ones. So what we want to do is we go to the edge mode, select one edge on the edge right here. It's very tiny. This object is very tiny. That's why the camera spasms out when I zoom. Let's select another one, and then we can go on loop right here, and it will do nothing. Okay. Ah well. What we're gonna do then is we select that up in the face and delete it, because screw you, and then we do that, and then it works. Now we go on the scale mode again, and when I'm clicking shift and scaling now, I will add a face. I will add all these edges will get a copy basically, and I will add a face, so I can let me do this without the transparency. Let's get rid of the transparency first. Okay, This is now better visible, I guess. I hope. Scale, okay, and I'm pressing shift and do this again, and you see that we'll get an edge out, and you will get an edge out of it. You can do this as well when you, for instance, move now. Click shift. Whenever you do something to the edge, it will make a copy of that edge and close the face. That's super cool. You can basically do rockets like that really quick. But what we want to do is we want to round it up a bit, round it off at the edge a bit, and basically this is too much already. Let's do a bit less, like this. And this is our high-res model. We can go wild, actually. So now let's select this one and the loop, and I'm dragging this one back a bit to round it up, just like that, tiny bit. So you have this, and now you could add a notch here again with the quick loop, the swift loop, or whatever thingy in the middle of that. And I'm dragging this in. We are very close to a very tiny object. Just like that. And yeah, let's close this. Let's just simply close this off. We could now go ahead, add a sphere, take some faces of the sphere and add a real cavity to this. But connecting this to the edge is a hassle, and no, not right now. I will just close it flat off and work some texture magic. So we can select an edge at the, at the center edge, basically, and control click to the other edge on the other side. Missed one. Alt click deselects, and control click selects stuff. Fuck you. And now you can bridge. Just click on bridge, pop, and you close that. Oh my god, this is tiny. When I'm too close to an object and it's too tiny, then you see this, I'm in the object, because the camera has a near range which it can possibly show, and that's what I'm hitting all the damn time. I can't get, never mind, it will work like that. And now we can select, I don't know, a bunch of them. Oh god. Four. Let's do 4. 1. Yeah. Four. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, I would like to go nearer, but it's not possible because this object is so tiny. Maybe I should have made it bigger and scaled it down, but you know. Two, yeah, this. I selected the entire loop, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. Drastic measures. We'll add an added poly modifier to that. And on that added poly modifier, we will just scale the shit out of this. Oh no, this isn't possible. Ah, fuck me. Yeah, well. Okay, this is as close as I can get. I created a camera and zoomed in a more controlled fashion, and this is far more possible right now. Alright. Okay, now I have 4, and then now I create a shape. This is... yeah, if I want to show shit, right? Oh boy. Okay, no, the red one is the new one, so we want this, and this, and this, and this, and this should close it. Okay. Let's just go with it. Oh yeah, I cannot rotate anymore. Yeah, I need to check if there are other lines selected. Yes, there is. Apparently, no. What's this? Oh, that's the picture. No, never mind. Doesn't seem like it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Let's do 7. Oh, this is okay. And close the shit. Okay. Sure, should work. I selected something. Screw this. Seven. There you go. Yeah, we could do this one. I'm gonna close it like this. Alright. That'll do. Let's get back to P, perspective view. And let's get rid of the camera. Top level. Delete. Alright, wow, that was something. But it's closed now, that's good. Alright. Now, what about the tip? Let's create a sphere and rotate it. Let's make editable mesh out of it. Ah, shit. Editable poly out of it. And let's get rid of half of the faces. Yep, seems about right. Okay. Now we're gonna zero it out. Which leads me to believe that we didn't zero out this one. Yes, we didn't. Luckily, these two have the same pivot point. Whoop. And yeah, we should zero this one too. On the other hand, no. Oh, maybe? Yeah, let's do it. Shit. Fuck it. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the left view and adjust our picture a bit. That's it. P, perspective view. Okay. And now let's keep him for now. Let's select this one and go to whatever. Let's choose polygon and we attach now. And we attach this one. Boop. So this is now one object. Yeah, we should get the faces right. That the faces have are the same amount as they are on the cylinder. We might have to do this again. Let's just roll with it for now. Okay, and let's just scale this one. That's all right. So that this matches basically, which yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, let's see. But that's how we would do it. So let's see. We create a sphere. We create a cylinder. It should have the same setup than before, and that would be 37. Let's get rid of him. Modify tab, 37 please. So that should do it. Alright. poly, and oh, looks alright. 0, 0, good. Okay, and now we will attach again. There you go. The word is ending outside. I hope you don't mind. So let's go for the vertex level again and just select these vertices and scale. And this should line up now. Well, does it? Does it line up? Not really. We could give it a few degrees. Yeah, that looks way better. Alright. Okay, and now let's scale it on the Y. And we have ourselves a bullet. I know what we're doing. Alright. Let's scale this a little bit smaller. Like that. So you have the effect of this being a bullet actually sticked onto the cartridge. Yeah. And let's select some of both sides. Let's get a loop going. And now we have to deselect one, otherwise it's not gonna work. And now we bridge this. And now we select the one we deselected and bridge him. And that should do. And we have ourselves a bullet. Let's get rid of our placeholder here. Alright. That'll do. Well, we have ourselves our high-res bullet. Let's build the low-res one. Can I? No, I think there's no way for me to make this in any way. Okay. Okay, let's do it. So our collision was 381. Good thing we zeroed this out. Because this is the collision actually. I'm just assuming you can follow me what I'm doing right now because I'm repeating stuff. Just want to close these holes. I'm shying away from adding another loop. Depends on how you... You won't see the entire bullet actually. This is just for showcase. But yeah, it depends on how exact the collision calculation should be. If you want a cutscene where bullets fall out of a gun and you need a close-up on the falling bullets that fall in slow motion, then you should actually add a bunch of edge loops right now. But we want this to be in the game, and bullets in the game, there are many of them, and physics calculations are quite heavy on the machine, so you want to keep the collision for physical objects as, for anything, as simple as humanly possible. It's a hexagon. This already is quite heavy to begin with. So I will just create the illusion of the bullet actually having these proportions in the engine, basically, by making it a bit bigger at the end and a bit pointy at the tip. I don't want them to crash into each other. I do want them to roll down a hill if need be. But yeah, but I don't need to see in close up that the tip of another bullet will not penetrate 1 millimeter here or there. That's not necessary at that scale. Okay, this is our collision. Let's hide our collision because we are done with it and we don't need it right now. In the right-click menu, there are a bunch of unhide by name, unhide all, hide unselected, and hide selection. That's what I'm clicking. I'm hiding my selection, so it's gone. I don't see it anymore. And do the same for this one because this is just irritating. And now I'm going for P-break.